Why are you changing the lock on that door, Matthew?
So you can't get into it, you little snot. Hello, I am Joel Sharpton, one half of the Articulate Coven, and this is my watch of the original supernatural soap opera, Dark Shadows. And we have officially gotten supernatural, folks. I don't know what else to tell you. There's ghosties and ghoulies and long-legged beasties, as our friend Sam told us recently. We're up to episode 90 now of Dark Shadows, and thank you for joining these as often as you can. And I just want to say that I appreciate you, especially if you're a patron, a member of our Patreon. Articulatecoven.com/join, $2 or more a month. Get you access to everything we do early and ad-free. You can find us on Patreon if you're already a supporter of other creators. Search Articulate Coven, and there we shall be. We've got a few comments here. I want to reply to a few things. Bill Verne said on YouTube about this is back on like episode 83. These episodes were taped on 1-inch videotape. The videos were broadcast once. If a TV station needed to broadcast at a different time, they had to have a copy. At the time, the only way to copy was to play the tape and film the monitor. To get better quality, they used actual film. This is called a kinescope. Over the years, some of the tapes went missing or suffered from damage. In those cases, they were able to use the kinescope to substitute. This episode, this was the one that I had mentioned a few episodes back, and Kevin told us about the kinescope, that this was one of the, I think he said there's 24 of the kinescopes total. After a few years, they stopped making kinescopes as technology advanced. So there is one episode that has no video at all. 1 out of 1,225 isn't bad. Yeah, very good call, Bill. I appreciate that feedback, and thank you for watching with us. Let's see. I think that is the only one from here. Let me go look at the Patreon too. And again, I thank you very much for these comments. The feedback makes it a lot more fun to discuss all of this with you all. On episode 86, Kevin said, I found this interesting tidbit at the Dark Shadows wiki for this episode. Dark Shadows fans commenting at moviemistakes.com have debated over which episode contains the famous blooper where Louis Edmonds had to be shot from the waist up because he had removed his pants, having forgotten that he was to appear in one more scene and having no time to redress. This episode seems to be the most likely candidate of those discussed. Edmonds has only one line to deliver in Act 4, to Miss Victoria Winters, no matter where you are. So this is right before he goes and saves her, basically. He's having a drink alone. And when he says that one line at the end of the episode, first of all, having just the one line could have conceivably made it an easy task to forget. And the camera operator is clearly taking great pains not to shoot him below the waist. Excellent feedback, Kevin. Thank you for keeping us on point for all of this. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention, this is from episode 85, where we see the ghost of Bill Malloy. The ratings for Josette's ghost, about 14 episodes back from there, were very significant. So we're just talking about 3 weeks earlier, prompting Dan Curtis to bring on the ghost of Bill Malloy. Vicky assumes she's dreaming because that's what anyone watching a soap opera in 1966 would expect. Everyone knows there's no such thing as ghosts. The show has worked hard to convince us that ghosts are just metaphors for guilt so far. Vicky is only properly frightened when she sees wet seaweed on the floor. Nothing nuanced about that. Although primetime TV was riddled with magical characters and comedies during the 60s, taking the supernatural seriously was a bold step for afternoon TV. Excellent feedback. Okay, great stuff. Let's get into this episode at hand and see what's happening in Collinswood and Collinwood and Collinsport. Boy, I'm going to get it right now. Let's see what's happening.
If you die, I won't even come to your funeral. You said, I hope you stay in that locked room for the rest of your life.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you did. You little...
If you died, I would come to your funeral.
Well, I suppose that's something. Why would you come to my funeral?
Because I like funerals.
Okay. That's a good cold open. That's one of the better cold opens we've had in a while, I think, honestly. Boom. I like that one a lot. David, such a little duty head, man. Do not care for this child. Boo, David.
Well, that's why I'm packing, because I thought you wanted me to leave.
That was before I knew.
Before you knew what?
You had seen a ghost. Besides me, you're the only person that ever has.
What difference?
First of all, that's not true. Your aunt and your father have both seen ghosts. Maybe they just haven't admitted it to you. Also, though, like, ugh, this crass little. Okay, I mean, I suppose kids are like this sometimes. Even my children sometimes will, like, actively ask me for a thing and then will treat me in the rudest manner. And I'm like, I have what you are coming to me with a request, with an ask. Like, don't you want to curry my favor in some way? Anyway. David heavy episode. I mean, I guess we're gonna get more about the ghost of Bill Malloy, which is a good thing, but goodness.
Please, Miss Winters.
Wow. What brought all that on? Well, it would seem that any friend of a ghost is a friend of David's. Now, Vicky, it's broad daylight.
First of all, any friend of a ghost is a friend of David's is just a great tagline. That tickled me in a way that I really cannot express to you. But also, it's so funny to me that Carolyn can be there and hear that and then still ask Vicky what brought this on. Like, Carolyn is so self-centered, she's blind to effectively all else that's happening around her sometimes.
But even if I was dreaming, I certainly didn't dream that seaweed on the floor. He left seaweed on the floor? Mm-hmm. I wrote it all down. I'll show you.
Boom. Okay. This is evidence to my understanding that the opening of this show, every episode starts with Victoria. My name is Victoria Winters. I'm assuming it's this journal that we have seen her writing in before. But, like, look at this. She's already written down the seaweed?
Singing an old sea chanty. What will you do with a drunken sailor? That was Bill Malloy's favorite song. Well, then that proves something, doesn't it? I guess so. But I'm not sure what.
Okay, I also really like that camera angle where we're seeing through the door. I don't think we've really done that before. It's fantastic. One, two, three. There's 4 of our players.
Why are you changing the lock on that door, Matthew?
So you can't get into it, you little snot.
What are you doing, Matthew?
I'm replacing the lock on this door. This started orders.
Why?
Evidently, there were too many loose keys to this old lock.
Oh.
Of course, we now know that old Roger has a secret passageway. He can get into that section of the house through the drawing room.
You're a very nice person. No, I'm not. I'm selfish and thoughtless and scatterbrained. And if I weren't all those things, I'd be urging you to leave Collinwood too.
What a deep and thorough and accurate self-assessment, Carolyn. Good job. Good job.
On the stairs stairs going downstairs. The rug is too loose and somebody's liable to trip and break their neck.
Maybe I'd better have a look at it.
Come on, Matthew. You can't notice like an actual intentional distraction, sir?
That he had been murdered, and that the murderer was someone who lived in Collinsport. Then it said that the same thing might happen to me. Now, you wouldn't like to see that happen, would you? Of course not. I just can't believe it. Only there was some way we could get back into that room, then I could show you.
Ma'am, what are y'all doing? Y'all gonna end up getting locked in here again. Oh, good Lord. Well, at least you'll be together.
I'm not exactly wild about going back there. Well, you said you didn't believe, so if you don't, there's nothing to be afraid of, is there? No.
Man, I'm telling you, they're getting their money out of these hallway sets. They built all these corners, hallways, stairways. David, you little sneaky Pete. Oh, good God. Before we find out what David's up to in here. Now, see, I thought he was distracting him so that he could steal the key or something. Put it in putty. I am genuinely fascinated by how Dan Curtis and crew have figured out a way to wring the money out of all of these little cornerway sets that they built. Because I guarantee you we're going to see these girls go through several of them again before they get to this room. Because they're probably not going to get to the room properly. We're not going to see what happens in the room until next episode at this point, is my guess. Well, Matthew's already back working on the door there.
I knew immediately that it was Mr. Malloy, or the ghost of Mr. Malloy. He was wearing the same clothes in which I had last seen him. He was soaking wet, as though he just dredged up from his watery grave. There was seaweed hanging from his shoulders. It was the most horrible sight I have ever seen in my life. Maybe he would tell you who killed him.
He slipped and fell. Nobody killed him. I got too much to do. Stand here and listen to your foolish stories.
They aren't foolish stories either. Besides, I think someone's back there right now.
That's impossible.
In this house, nothing is impossible.
Boy, okay. Matthew throwing me off the scent for Roger as far as Bill Malloy's killer suddenly in this episode. Making yourself look real guilty, Mr. Manservant, sir.
Place. And here.
God, I was wrong. I gave you guys that whole speech about all the hallways and the corners and the stairwells, and then they don't do any of it. They go straight to the door. Okay. I was right that we wouldn't get them. No, we're going to get a scene in the room too. This is just an episode of me being wrong, ladies and germs.
I'll show you. I don't see what good that would do. Well, you will. Then I took a hairpin out and I poked at the pin through. I poked at the key through there so that it would fall on the paper, and I would pull the paper back on.
What are these two idiots doing? What did these two idiots just do to themselves? Victoria Winters. Miss Victoria Winters.
It wouldn't come through last night. If it had, I could have unlocked the door and gotten away. Maybe you weren't supposed to. Why? I don't know why, Vicky. Let's just get out of here. Carolyn, have you ever heard of a firm called Garner and Garner? Sure, they're my mother's lawyers in Bangor. Why? There seems to be some kind of a ledger sheet. What about it? This name, B. Hanscom. I know it. At least I think I do. I don't know what to think. This could be the clue I've been waiting for. Then there's a reason for you to stay at Collinwood.
How very convenient.
All I know is that I'm very confused. Vicky, can we go now? Gladly.
Okay. I am so glad that they didn't actually pull the trick of having them locked in there because they were stupid enough to put the key in the door. I really thought that's what was about to happen. They're still going to be locked in this side of the house, though.
I was worried about Miss Winters.
David, are you actually beginning to like me?
Miss Winters, I love you.
Oh, come on.
Has David ever said that about anything or anyone before? Yes. Once when he lived in Augusta, he had a little kitten he told me he loved. Oh?
He drowned it.
He drowned it.
Oh! Hole in one, baby! I finally got something right in this episode. Okay. Excellent episode, honestly. Great turn here at 90. I'm very much looking forward to this next run. 91 and 92 coming up wherever you're watching these. If you're watching these on YouTube, don't forget, folks, that you can see episodes early over at our Patreon, articulatecoven.com/join. $2 or more a month, get you access to everything we do early and ad-free. Coming up in the immediate future, we've got Talamasca series from AMC. We've got the celebration of life for Anne Rice in New Orleans, where we and a bunch of our listeners are going to be. And yeah, we've got a lot of fun stuff. Movie nights after that, book clubs, some Flan again coming in the future, and more Dark Shadows. Thanks for watching, folks.